insane.
So it's like the Truman Show.
Really, it honestly is like a Truman Show, but they do it just to fuck with him.
Have you done Kill Tony before?
I did a few times a few years ago, but I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
The crowd wants you to bomb.
For sure they do. I don't think it's... I think, like I've always told people, if you're in your first, 6 months of comedy, go do it. Otherwise, there's no fucking reason to.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen him ask the crowd if they like when people do well or when they bomb, and they cheer for bomb.
Who likes to watch somebody bomb? It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I have to be in a specific type of mood, but I sometimes do enjoy it.
If I like a person, it's fun to watch them bomb.
Yeah.
And that sounds terrible, but it's especially somebody you see do well all the time, and then they go up, because that's the beauty of comedy.
Yeah.
Because then it makes me realize, oh, that's fine. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like watching my friends bomb more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually want them to bomb. Are we doing the podcast right now?
Yeah, I'll intro it.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure. I like to start it naturally.
Oh, I understand, yeah. So
right.
we are recording right now?
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, welcome back to Blackoutpod, Binges, Betters, Tales from Rock Bottom. Today I have a guest. He is a wonderful young man. He's a comedy store door boy. He's on the road, slaying puss.
There it is. Not as much as I would want to, but
just just
yeah, I mean, he's killing it. He's
slaying puss, dude. And if you see him, don't look him in the eye.
Yeah,
he's getting famous. So just fucking Bruce Gray. Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Studio audience. Do you live here alone?
I don't actually. Yeah,
so it's very nicely decorated.
Yeah, this is new. It's the newly. I mean, a lot of the decorations aren't mine. They are a new addition, especially the birthday.
A girl lives here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Celebrated a birthday with me, and
is it your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was your birthday. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
What'd you do?
I ate cake for the first time in way too long.
Okay.
And
you gotta make it sad.
Got a headache like a bitch.
Oh, okay.
That's how you know life is getting sad.
Yeah.
Is when cake gives you a headache.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out.
I do, yeah. And I did a mic.
On your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should
just
go to rehab. For the cake thing and going to mic on your birthday and
not all of it. How long have you been doing comedy?
7 years.
See, I've been doing it almost 2.
Okay, yeah.
And
then you got to go on your birthday.
Well, especially because I fucking I have people are like, you're doing good, and I don't want that to go away. I don't want them saying you're doing good to go away, and I feel like I'm not gonna take a day off and then be like I lose a momentum.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? But it was, for as far as birthdays go, it's not fun to anybody else except me.
Yeah, I went to my friend's dad's funeral on my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, he fucking died.
How old are you?
26.
Okay, cool. So this was this year?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Me and...
Way to ruin your birthday.
Yeah, I know. Me and my girlfriend were supposed to go deep sea fishing, and then my friend's dad died. And...
what did he die of?
I'm not 100% sure. He was sick for a little. It's one of those things where he was good, and then he was sick for a few months, and then he fucking kicked the old shit can.
He couldn't have done it on another day.
Oh, he didn't die on my birthday. No, he could have rescheduled the funeral if he had any fucking respect for me. Yeah. But he didn't. But that's what I'm saying. Is my friend is such a good guy that he wasn't even gonna tell me.
Oh man.
About he was gonna be like, no, come on.
Was it here or was it when you were out of town?
No, it was in Bakersfield.
Okay,
so that's where I'm from,
okay.
2 hours north of here. So I had to go there.
Is Bakersfield's Inland Empire, right?
No, that's south. Bakersfield is Central California.
Central California. Okay, cool.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
What did you like growing up there?
Whenever I was there, I didn't, but now I do.
That's fair.
Because it's annoying. It's one of those things where it's annoying. People talk a lot of shit just because they don't know anything about it, and it's an easy punchline, and they're hacks, and they're.
I've never heard Bakersfield as a punchline.
Now I bet now you will every day.
Probably,
of your life.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard Fresno.
Yeah, people do that. Fresno's actually worse than
Fresno's
Bakersfield.
gross. But
Yeah, it's not
I've
good.
stayed in Fresno before. It's gross.
But it's the same thing where there's fucking nice parts of town and there's not.
Oh, for sure.
But it's all a whole methy empire.
Yeah.
Of, But people I don't know. People just find an easy punchline from shit they've heard on TV or whatever because they're the original.
Yeah. And you fucking host open mics too. That's gotta be painful.
Yeah.
You host open mics. Like people like there's like a cushy underbelly of open mics now. Of like you can go sign up and there are 10 people and all that stuff and it's not that bad. When you go to like the Ice House open mic, especially, there's people I've never seen before.
Yeah, and you'll never see again.
And
most of them die that night. They're just they're spawned right there.
Dude, I didn't realize before I got into comedy, I knew that there were people who were like, I'm funny, I should go do stuff. It's so many people who are like, I'm just going to go talk for 3 minutes.
Well, it's the idea of an open mic is awful. In theory, it's good because it's like, oh, you can come in here and you can work on your jokes. But really what it is you're telling crazy people on the street, be like, hey, you know how you fucking scream all day at everything?
Yeah.
Well, there's a machine in here that'll scream for you. And people have to listen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these open mics are too open.
You were there when I got heckled in my last 30 seconds of my set at Ice House, right?
I was in there for that part, yes.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm hosting there alone, I'm doing a lot of running around.
Yeah.
But
I forgot you were hosting
I remember
alone.
you were like, you did that, and you're like, I was doing good. And then this guy.
Well, and the booker was there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, great, this is awesome. Thank you so much. And then that guy tried to confront me after and was like, why'd you yell at me? And I was like, because you fucking heckled.
Oh, I know what day you're talking about. There was two.
I still see him.
Two very stupid guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy drinks a lot.
Yeah, he seems like he's on meth a lot.
Yeah, I don't know
He
what his deal
genuinely
is.
seems like he's on speed.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that does a lot of rocking around when he walks. I don't like that at all.
And he breathes with his mouth open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a mouth breather.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he just kind of, and he's like, ha ha, like he's just very
Yeah.
like, fucking broy. I don't know his name. I think he's an asshole. And then he gets on
Did
stage.
you say he's an asshole or his name is Zessel?
He's an asshole.
Oh, I think I don't know his name. I think it's Zessel. And I was like, that's your fucking guess? Is Zessel? Cecil with a Z?
I think that's his name. Yeah, he's a half British, half Muppet. And
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. There's a lot of these fucking junkies that are just around.
Yeah.
Just taking up space.
A lot of
Especially
homeless
being at the
people, at least.
oh yeah, a lot of homeless people. And most of them I don't mind.
No.
Not that I say not I don't mind like I don't hate them because they're homeless. They're homeless because I hate them. That's the issue is with them. Is I don't know what their deal is, but comedy sucks because there are people that are insane that have figured out a loophole in life that they can go places every night and there's people that they can hang out
It's
with.
like a belonging.
Yeah, it's like a belonging thing, and a lot of people get into it for that.
It's
I think.
easier than county jail.
Yeah,
I've started to kind of get in that. There's a lot of people who think it's a team sport.
yeah. The people who say things like the comedy community or the comedy
Right.
family, whatever.
Right.
And the comedy community does not exist.
No, because I think proof being if somebody is away for 2 weeks, you go, where'd that person go? And then you kind of go, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Exactly.
It's
And you
just-
see them, and you're like, oh yeah, you are fucking alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah,
You don't follow up.
No.
You maybe look at their Instagram. But
See, I'm happy for people now when they quit comedy.
really,
Yeah, because
it-
it seems like that's
it seems like
good.
you're doing well though.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying I want to. I would love to quit comedy and leave everything, but and live a happy life. But when people quit comedy, when people who are bad who quit comedy, I feel good.
Fair.
But I've
That's
had
very
friends who
fair.
are very much funnier than I will ever be who have quit comedy for whatever reasons, and that sucks.
There's that guy Arj Barker. Do you know Arj
Yeah.
Barker? I think he quit comedy and now he's
Really?
like doing. I saw him. He's like raising money for Australia and like
Yeah, I
taking
know he was
pictures.
huge in Australia.
Yeah.
I know he did like big theaters in Australia.
Yeah,
But then-
I saw him. He came to my college when I was 19, and like did a show in the basketball
Locker
whatever.
room.
In the
locker room,
in the
yeah.
locker room. No, it was like the biggest rinky-dink show. We sat on like bleachers, and he like did it in the middle of the fucking arena, and there were like maybe 100 of us, and
Yeah.
you could tell he was like, "This is my career.
Saying Australia anymore.
Yeah. And but he was very funny. But
he's a good comic. I don't know. I hear people talk about him. I don't really know what his deal is. I just know he was big in Australia for some reason.
That's an interesting niche to fill.
People pop in weird places like that. But I mean, I have friends who are big in the UK, and then they move over here, and they just can't get anything fucking going.
Yeah.
And they can't believe that. Like, not he's doing well here, but like you know who Eric Lampere is?
No.
See, he's a really funny comic, and like I've done a million things with him, and he's a cool dude. But it's like he was like working in the UK, and then he moved over here, and it was like whenever we met him and all my friends, he's like, "Oh, you guys are like very funny." He's like, "Who you guys like your managers or whatever?" We're like, "Oh, we have nothing." He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You have no representation?" No, there's no.
When you're a door guy, which is like that's like a big thing.
Yeah, this is like
but
3 years ago.
To anybody else, that's the other thing too. Is if you were to tell somebody who's not from LA, if you're like I'm a door guy at the Comedy Store, they would be like, "Oh."
Yeah,
you know
I think that was especially. I was thinking about that whenever I had first posted that I got the job, and I just posted like, "Oh, I got the door guy thing," and then it has like 300 likes and like 100 people like, "Dude, congratulations!"
Yeah.
The people that I went to high school with are probably like, "Why is everybody congratulating?" Like,
he's
is
a busser now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he so much of a piece of shit that people are happy he's a host at a restaurant?
Dude,
what is that, like
somebody, I'm hosting a show in Kelly's doing it tomorrow in West Hollywood, and I'll post about it and stuff like that. And I'm in this like slump where like I'm getting booked and stuff, but just not as much as I want to. You know, it's fucking comedy. And,
yeah, it's awful.
And this dude I know who's a cop back where I'm from posted or messaged me and was like, "Dude, you're fucking doing it, man. You're living it to the fullest." And I was like, "Am I? Is that what people think back home?"
People who don't.
Shout out to Mario.
Yeah, shouts out to Mario the cop.
He says he became a cop like a snitch. And
like, bro, honestly, bro, I just wanted to kill somebody.
Dude,
honestly, bro.
He was like so fucking like smart and passed all these tests and was like the top of everything. And he's like, I guess I have to now.
Yeah.
So,
but people who don't, I mean, because there's a lot of doing comedy is very dumb. First off, it's a stupid thing to do.
It is.
But it's people who, a lot of people do it to escape, hopefully escape having to have any sort of real responsibility or life or whatever. So people that are afraid, I don't know what the right word is, but people who are chasing security will, like chasing security and then like find the security in life with being a cop or being something that gives you, you know, like legitimate financial and all kind of security, and then they see somebody kind of doing their own thing somewhat, they're like, oh, even if you're like a fucking homeless comedian, they're like, dude, that guy's really doing it. He's really
true,
going for it. It's like,
yeah. Well, I have a job too, and then but I don't have to do much.
What's your job?
I have an industrial real estate company that I own with a couple people back home. So I don't do anything. I just fucking
industrial real estate.
Yeah, like a couple warehouses. We own a couple warehouses. And it's
sell like rock quarries and shit. Are you Armenian?
No.
Okay, that's very Armenian.
No, I'm not Armenian. Don't ever ask me that.
I'm in industrial real estate.
That's the most roundabout way anybody has ever called me disgusting.
I mean,
I get it a lot, but that was Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's a valid question. You're
swarthy.
You're olive colored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a
lot of tattoos.
I don't drive a BMW.
Well, I mean, see, if you didn't do comedy, you probably would because you're in industrial real estate.
I don't know if maybe.
What do you drive?
Nissan Versa.
That's okay. That's a good car.
Oh, little bitch egg. My dad told me that he goes, that car fits you, and I'm like,
yeah.
You call me gay?
Yeah,
is
that the best way your dad's ever called you gay? Yeah, my dad would check up with my friends to see if I was gay until like a year and a half ago.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Just because you didn't have a girlfriend?
Maybe. I mean, he's half joking, half not. My dad's
Right.
also a very tough. Like my dad was like a professional bull rider.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So that's why you went to like the bull.
Yeah, that's why I love all that shit.
Shit. So you're like actually? I thought you guys kind of just went for fun.
No, I'm like legitimate white trash.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I really envy that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of fun shit involved in it.
I went to rehab, surprise, and when we were there, it was like out in crazy buttfuck Utah, and like we would go to rodeos and stuff as activities.
Yeah, and it's fun.
And I was like, this is a part of my life I missed.
Yeah, it's fun. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Those guys break their fucking liver.
You ever seen anything crazy bull riding?
No, not really. I mean, a few guys got like kind of fucked up when I was there the other day.
Yeah.
But I mean, my dad and my cousin still does it.
But that's wild.
I mean, he did it till he was like 26.
Yeah.
And then I was born when he was like 30.
We start
But it's
wrestling
like I have some gnarly.
after. And
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, I have a few pictures of him. I have one hanging in my house of him like legitimately like 3 feet in the air on a bull, and like he's like this.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
And his nickname was Buddy, and like he has these like chaps on that are perfectly flayed out in the picture, so it says like BUDDDY on the side, so you can like see the whole thing.
God damn.
It's pretty. I mean, he's like a gnarly dude.
You guys a gun family too?
Nah, yes and no.
Okay.
Like my dad owns guns, but he doesn't know anything about them.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, my dad does a lot of things like that. He's like a Republican, but he doesn't know anything about. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like he does all these things just because it's what he does, but it's like it's not like he's educated about any of it in any way.
That's kind of amazing, though.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. So
Yeah, and
I'll
that's
do
what's so dumb. Where it's like these fucking people. Where it's like I'm a liberal douchebag, you know, but it's like these people that are like, if you're fucking anybody voted for Trump, we're gonna fucking run him over with a VW Beetle, and it's like shit like that, and it's like you don't need to.
I saw somebody posted about cisgender white males.
Yeah, it's every Facebook post.
So it's just like what? So that just means that just a white guy who likes girls.
Yeah, a white guy who likes girls, or
so the funny part about that is it's the same kind of thing. Where it's like you don't want to be targeted or labeled, but then you have to put everybody else.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
box.
all of this shit is just people are treating each other the way they don't want to be treated.
Yeah,
and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Well, it's also stupid in comedy because so many people do things like that, and it's like anytime, like, it's fine to make fun of whoever. Like, I definitely make fun of like quite a bit of people. I mean, I made fun of you already, and I mean the people who are listening, they're probably fucking pieces of shit, but but it's like the people.
Mom was.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, peace, Mom. You've done a great job so far. Yeah, like people that were like they'll be like, oh, I don't even want people who voted whichever way in the audience of my show, and it's like, well, you're never gonna fucking make it.
Yeah,
like it's not gonna happen.
Never. Yeah. Well, and then the funny part about that too is it's like, who says that anybody wants to come see you in general?
Yeah, well, nobody wants to see, nobody wants to see 90% of comedians.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like whenever anybody, it's like the argument of people being like, that's fucking so stupid. Did you hear about, there's a lady named Katie, Katie, she's like, she talks about like fat people and Republicans, and she's a Republican and talks about how she supports Trump, British lady. She came into the Belly Room, and it was the night of my roast battle. And some girl in the audience was like, is Katie Hopkins, that's who it was, Katie Hopkins really there?
Oh, is this where somebody like lashed out from the audience? And like, you're a fucking racist
right at the
bitch.
beginning of the roast battle. And so Harper and I, who I was roasting with, were like, and we had never roasted before, so we're like, is this going to ruin the whole fucking room?
Yeah.
It was very weird. And it's like, yeah, she's here to watch comedy just like you. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Who cares?
When people are like, yeah, you got to go fucking throw eggs at people at their job if they think differently than you or whatever.
So fucking silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but people are hiding something.
Yeah.
With
but also, you're out on the road slaying beef. And so you're able to distract yourself.
Yeah. I mean, there's just the beaver dam smacking the wood with their tail, That's what they do.
That's what they tell them, those jokes, slaying beef. And then Kelly's at home going, meh.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fucking apron on, cooking and cleaning.
Her sister's rapping.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
See,
man, I wish you could flip the camera on and flip it around and see how nicely decorated it is in here.
To make you mad? You look angry at it.
It doesn't make me mad. It is very surprising.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, because you live up a hiking trail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pete was like, he's like, yeah, gave me all these directions, and I was walking on the street and I was lost. He's like, hey, I'm up here.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see him, and all there was just this, not even a driveway, it was a trail.
It looks like a lot. Like
Yeah.
It looks like I would live in a tent.
It really does.
But here's the thing:
it leads to something very nice.
Yeah, this house is great. I got a great deal. I was living in Echo Park, and I was paying $600 more than what I'm paying now. And I was like, okay, if I move out of Echo Park and out of wherever, then I can live a lot better. But
how long have you lived here?
In LA?
Yeah.
Going on a year next month. Yeah.
And you were doing comedy for a year in Salt Lake?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I moved out here.
Were you around comedy a lot before then?
Yeah, I've always been a huge comedy fan. I've always wanted to do it.
Would you go out a lot to
Yeah.
stuff? Do you know who Christian Piper is?
No, that sounds familiar.
He was like a big Salt Lake cheese, or Andy Gold.
I know Andy Gold.
Andy Gold and Christian Piper.
I've seen Andy Gold open for a lot of people.
Andy Gold is a very funny comedian.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of similar. He did drugs, you did something.
Yeah, he was Mormon though.
Oh yeah,
he's like he came from that Mormon background. You still kind of see it on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you do Golden Spike?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They're doing it again.
Oh yeah.
Which
Somebody
is
was
great.
telling me about that.
Wise Guys is the best club ever.
Yeah, it's great. Keith Stubbs is a good guy.
I've never met him.
Yeah, he's very cool.
I have gotten applause breaks at his open mic before.
That's good.
So every time I go there, I do that open mic, and I'm like, maybe book me. And he's like, I don't know you. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, Christian Piper is a very good friend of mine who, he was like a big Salt Lake cheese. He would like open for everybody there. And then he was like this big, large dude. I mean, he's fucking hilarious. Does a lot of jokes about his wife having autism. He's fucking so
Why does
funny.
that sound familiar?
If you saw him, you would be like,
Probably,
oh, that's
yeah.
Christian Piper. There's no mistaking.
Yeah.
But he's fucking funny. This is good podcast fodder? Probably not, you know?
No, I think
cut
it
out.
is.
Why not? What do
I'm
you
not going to cut anything
Cut it out,
because
Pete.
the people need to know Christian Piper.
What was it like when you moved here?
I've always wanted to be here. Yeah, I know this guy. Very funny.
Yeah, he's
who did I
incredible.
see him open for? Maybe Brian Posehn.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they'd look too similar. You might have not done it.
But do you know Nicholas Don Smith?
No.
He's same thing, big fat guy into comic books, and he opened for Brian Posehn, and I was like, oh, of course they need to have one guy open with one material, and then the same material continued.
You gotta nerd it up the whole time.
Is that bugging you?
No, I'm good. I just want to make sure it's loud enough, but I
Yeah,
can
just-
hear myself. Does this turn? Nah, it'll be fine.
If you bring it like
I've broken
straight,
45 of these.
what?
These
the stands?
things doing like this, and then it snaps, and
So
then
it's supposed to be like
swings
this?
down. Oh, okay. See, now
I just
we're-
didn't know if you had a preference.
No, I mean, I just didn't know if it was good or not. Now we're good,
Yeah.
guys.
Generally, it's like a fist away.
The podcast is
from
going to
your
get
mouth.
good. I swear to God.
Yeah, it's good already.
You think so?
I think so.
I'm very self-conscious.
Me too. The only reason I feel comfortable ever, I was gonna wear sweats as a power move. I was gonna be like, I'm comfortable, but I'm too.
I was going
self-conscious.
to because I didn't plan on this being on tape, and I'm glad I dressed up. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's funny because some people, when I first started doing the podcast, I didn't have chemistry with anybody because I was just too nervous. And now it's just like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah. It doesn't matter. And anytime you're bombing, you just cut it out. And nobody will even know the difference.
I've had a couple of terrible podcasts, but it was just because of the story.
Yeah, I mean, I've stopped my podcast in the middle of it and been like, I don't want to do this anymore with people I'm good friends with because
Really?
they're being shitbags.
Is every once in a while, did you hear Craig Conan's podcast with Joe Marisi?
No.
It was amazing.
Yeah, Joe's like,
He couldn't
freaking
engage
know.
Joe. So yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's like, so you got a DUI, huh? He's like, yeah, I mean,
you got a freaking DUI.
he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I drank too much, and
I don't know.
what
man.
else do you want to know? And then he's just comfortable with the silence. He's just comfortable with the silence.
Dude, I love Joe Marie.
He's
he was
amazing.
Like born to be a dad. And
Yeah.
he's a
Coach
he's a
Maurice.
dad with no kids.
What's he like cold opening?
Oh, he's very funny.
That's amazing.
But it's also he's just one gear, and it's like if you aren't into it, then you're fucked.
My favorite thing to imagine is no offstage intro and just Joe Marisi on the stage, and everybody's talking to each other, and then all of a sudden they look up, and Joe is there, and he's going, well, we're going to have a great night. And everybody's like, who whose uncle is this
Yeah.
that got put on the stage?
At the Comedy Store, you got to do like security announcements before, so he'll go out and be like, there's a freaking door back there, and go down the stairs. Don't be a freaking idiot. Everyone here's so freaking stupid.
Don't bring your beer with you.
Yeah, it's good.
So you've been working at the store how long now?
Almost, I think 6 months.
Are you liking it?
Yeah, it's great. It's the easiest job in the world.
I hear a lot of people say it sucks, and I'm like, why would you work there if it sucks?
Yeah. Are you saying people who work there say that?
Openly. Very openly.
Yeah, people do, but it's also just like a lot of people just don't want to have a job.
I think that's what it is.
But it's like, honestly, if you're going to have a job and be a comedian, it's the least job you can have.
It sounds like it, yeah.
It's easy. Sometimes it's long hours.
Does Allie still work there?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, I basically replaced her.
Oh, okay, yeah, because she's just moving too much.
Yeah, she's crushing it.
That's cool. Are you featuring for anybody? You just going by yourself?
No, not really. Not like specifically, but like I'll do some shows for like the improv will send me out some places.
Oh, cool.
Because it's like I don't have like representation or anything.
Right.
So it's like anything that I'm doing is kind of just either through like a club sending me out or bringing me out or like somebody I'm friends with bringing me out.
Are you passed to the improv? More or less?
More or less. Yes and no. It's a weird situation. I don't know what, like I get spots there, but it's not like I'm sending in avails or anything.
Right.
But they're strange because they don't really have a no pass system.
You just kind of are on lineup suddenly.
Yeah, or
you
like
know,
they'll ask you.
It's a weird place. Like the booking system is weird because I've seen people eat dicks, and then Rita's like, "I'm calling." You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just there's a lot of spots to give out with the late night stuff, and she likes to give people a chance, and she's great, and she's been super nice to me, and every time I see her, she's very nice to me, and
She gave me a spot the other night at the open mic. I got the last spot for my birthday. She found out it was my birthday.
She's like, I want to see Pete Suval.
Yeah. Dude, she's watched me crush at nights and never has booked me. And I just don't question it because I've only been here a year. So fucking who cares? Like I'm not gonna act like I'm butthurt about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've only been here a year, it's at least you're living comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I first moved down here,
she knows my name.
Yeah, and that's you just be happy. There's a lot of things where it's impossible to be happy about, but I talk about this a lot with people where it's like a year ago, if you were doing whatever you're doing now, you would have been like, oh, I would be happy with half of that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to look at perspective, I guess, in being like when you're fucking bitching about whatever, and then you're like, oh, well, a year ago I would have been happy to be doing any of this. I would have been happy that this person knows my name or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like when I first moved down here, I moved out here 4 years ago, and it's like I had nothing whatsoever. Like I knew like 3 people. I was living in a fucking Days Inn. I had no money. Like a fucking nightmare.
You're living in a Days Inn.
Yeah, dog.
Wow.
I was fucking broke for like first 2 years I lived here.
You have some horror stories from back then too?
Yeah, dude. I mean, fucking nightmarish situation. Living in the Days Inn, Glendale Days Inn. Shouts out because my aunt.
Close to here.
Yeah, Glendale Days Inn on Pioneer Boulevard.
Woo!
Yeah, dude, represent. Because my aunt worked for Shell, and she would be out here for like 3 days a month. But Shell was like, oh, we'll get you a place. So she's like, whatever, just get me this extended stay.
Shell, the gas company, not like the ice cream topping.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Talking with you.
She works for syrup. Yeah, you know my aunt, she works for Sprinkles. The company? No, the topping. What are you talking about, Pete? Yeah, the gas company. You know, the one that fucking kills people in the Middle East, which they all do. We all do. We're all part of it. The Comedy Store kills people in the Middle East. They have to.
Oh, shit.
You know, everyone.
I didn't ever meet, nobody ever met, in our generation met Mitzi, but I'm sure she could kill somebody.
Yeah, she probably has.
Yeah, Polly probably kills people too.
So I was living there. It's just the Armenian mafia lived around there. Like, they were always shady dealings going on, and I would come in there at like 3 a.m. and these guys would be talking outside. and it would be a Rolls Royce and then an unmarked van, and I would walk by and they would stop talking and stare at me until I walked all the way by and then continue talking. Shit like that, dude. People, just this guy would wander the hallway. It looked like he got the shit kicked out of him every day. He's probably some kind of slave. I don't know what his deal was. But just a nightmare. Moved to, I lived there for like 3 months, I think like 5 months. I was working at 9021 Pho.
What is that?
That's a since closed
a pho restaurant.
Fusion restaurant in the Glendale Galleria. Pure nightmare. I got fired because I hated my job and I spilled pho on too many people. It's just fucking nightmare.
Working in the Galleria sounds terrible.
Oh, it was awful. You go down the escalator every day. There's the fucking Scientology thing. You're always trying to probe your brain. There's a Scientology kiosk in the Glendale Galleria right at the bottom of the escalator. So every day the guy'd be like, hey, you want to do it? And every day I'd be like, not a chance. He'd be like, I'll see ya. And then like the next day he'd be like, yeah, what do you think? And it's like, if I would have been there for 2 more months, I would have been like, all right, let's fucking do
These things, right?
those things and the book, yeah.
God damn.
You know what's crazy is I actually went to an open mic at the Scientology Center.
I hear it's a good one.
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's mostly people rapping. I mean, they have a beautiful stage and sound system.
Yeah.
Dude, if 2 things went wrong, Scientology does not seem that bad.
It doesn't, and the reason is, and a lot of people act like they're just trying to get you. You gotta be kind of like if they want you.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying is that that things are bad because that you got to be on the down low, not the down low. You got to be on the downhill to be sucked up into the Scientology situation.
It seems like they could get you to a good place.
Well, they can get you to a good place to help you out, dude.
Salt Lake is kind of like that. Salt Lake is
with
kind of
Mormonism,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's like just the whole place is kind of culty. And so like everybody's like, come work for my dad, and my dad works for his dad, and his dad works for his dad. So then
I mean,
if you sell your soul, you can be very happy.
Scientology, if you're in a bad situation, almost seems like the way the YMCA song makes the YMCA look. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like if you're downtrodden, the YMCA song makes the YMCA sound awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll fucking do that shit.
Well, shit. So the way that I have kind of been structuring it is like a crazy story that you're like, that was nuts. And then one that was like, that was fucked up. And then it can be like drugs and alcohol, or it could be mental health, or it could be whatever. But it sounds like you've been through some shit. So
yeah, I mean, with the stuff out here, I mean, there's a million different things. But like whenever I first moved out here, this is not really. I'll get into something more interesting. But just how fucked up it was when I moved out here. That I moved out here, I was in the Days Inn, and then I found this thing on Craigslist. They're like, hey, we're a fucking apartment leasing company, so we'll like you come out here, you make a down payment, and then we help you find an apartment, and your down payment goes to the first month of the apartment's rent. So that sounds fucking great. Drive to Baldwin Park, give these people $500 of money. I have $600.
Yeah.
It's a big scam. They scam me out of this $500. I call back and they're like,
fuck.
I was like, what the fuck? You scammed me? And they're like, yeah, we fucking scammed you. And they're basically like making fun of me for getting scammed. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
totally.
I'm
We
fucking
did.
kill you guys. Like, I was fucking I was losing my mind.
Jesus.
And and then I mean, I feel like when you move out here, you got to get scammed to understand how to not get scammed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anything in life, you got to get scammed to understand how to not get scammed.
It tests you. LA tests you.
Yeah.
I totaled my car and I got a divorce in my first 6 months here.
Was your wife out here with you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Good
it's
for
the
you.
same. Yeah.
Why'd you get a divorce?
I don't think we were like. It just she didn't.
Were you Mormon?
No.
Was she Mormon?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Generally, you don't look like me if you're Mormon.
Well, I mean, I figured maybe you were Mormon and then you like rebelled because you listened to Blink 182 too many times or something.
Why is it always Blink 182?
I
do like Blink 182.
I like Blink 182.
Yeah, but
if you're Mormon and you hear Blink 182, you'd be like, I'm fucking out of here.
I'm down.
I'm out of here, man.
I miss you totally.
Yeah, dude. Whenever I was in the Days Inn, and then I moved to a house in Granada Hills. Are you familiar with Granada Hills?
No.
It's near Northridge. It's like as north as you can get. It's
Okay.
like 45 minutes from everything. And there's this nice house.
You're open micing at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was going out every single night
Okay.
for like the first 2 years I was here. So then I move over there. I have like 9 roommates. I have my friend Tad, who's a comic from home, moved out here with me. We're sharing a room in this place. And the house is nice, but it's just a nightmare situation. Live with all these people, and then my roommate was like, one of my roommates is this fucking hippie dude, Johnny, who he was a few years older than me, and he was like a pretty even-keeled guy, just a lot of weed, and he'd be like, yeah, man, I mean, you know, just like sometimes she works out like that, man, you know? And like, you know what Jimson weed is?
No.
You know, like, you know, people will be like, oh, if you put like morning glory seeds in your
So it's like
tea.
spice, kind of?
It's like a thing, but it's like a thing that like it gets you high, or like, oh, hey, Indians used to do this shit. So he found some of this shit on the side of the road, and then he made it in tea, and then he drank it, and I swear to God, he was fucked up for fucking 96 hours, was just like twisted out of his mind, and then he fucking just spun out, and I never saw him again.
Really?
Off this Jimson weed thing.
So he's MIA to this day.
I have no idea what he's doing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder if he had like schizophrenia.
I have no idea.
And then it
dude.
just like, because you know they say that it could like awaken something
Yeah,
in you?
dude, but there was another time where I wasn't there, but apparently
Found it on the side of the road.
he's one of yeah, dude. He found it on the side of the road. He's like, "Yeah, man, you guys want to do some fucking Jimson weed?" And we're like, "No, Johnny, we don't. I don't want any part of that." My roommate Tad's like, "Oh no, dude, I don't think I want to do any part of that."
That's a Tad voice. I don't know
Yeah,
Tad.
yeah,
That's his
yeah.
voice.
And then, he looks like Neil Young, circa 1972.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, so then he does that, but apparently there was one time we had this thing in our backyard where it's like above like the table, where there's like these like slats that go like this. It's like a wooden overhang that doesn't really block anything out. It's kind of like a little gazebo type thing.
Okay.
And he was talking to. There's two of our other roommates were out there, and also this guy Johnny is a masseuse, and he. I mean, he went to massage school. He doesn't work as a masseuse, but he was telling he's talking a bunch of shit about the 1-inch punch. You know,
Yeah.
1-inch punch, and he's like gonna do it on the thing, and there's two of the roommates out there. One of them he's like more friendly with Johnny. The other guy doesn't really care either way. And that guy who doesn't care either way is sitting down, and Johnny's like, "Yeah, dude, do the fucking 1-inch punch, dude. I fucking do it really good." And then he like did it on the wooden thing that came down, and he did it. And one of the things on the overhang, this pushed it, and so this thing just fell down and conked the other guy in the fucking head. And then Johnny's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." He's like, "Dude, come on, I'll give you a free massage, man." Just like, dude. And he's trying to like tell him like, "Dude, I'm gonna give you a free massage." Like, it's all good. And the guy's like, "Fuck you, don't fucking talk to me. You fucking just conked me on the head." But I was living there, and then in the same week, I broke my foot playing Comedians League softball, which. I'm a legend of 2 championships. I don't like to brag, but Comedians League softball broke my foot, and like I like broke a bone in my foot, and then I tore like 3 ligaments in my ankle. I was in a boot for like 10 months.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was fucking gnarly. But and then I totaled my car because I was so broke that I was trying to drive Lyft with my broken foot. So I'm basically driving with my left foot, and my right foot is completely deactivated. So I'm driving with my left foot, and then. So this guy hits me in his car, and it totals my car. And then I had been giving my mom money to pay my insurance.
Okay.
But apparently her credit card expired. So at the time, without me knowing, I didn't have insurance. So this guy hit me, and it was his fault.
Man.
And then once the insurance company was like, "Oh, this guy doesn't even have insurance," they're like, "Oh, yeah, well, actually, it's your fault." And I'm like, "Oh, no, it's not." And they're like, "Well, what are you going to do, you know?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, you're right." So now I just didn't have a car. My foot is broken. I have no money. I'm just like literally laying in bed for like 3 days, and I can't afford to go eat anything. And I'm just like, "Oh, this is a fucking miserable existence." And then I go back to the old fucking Days Inn, dude. Back to the Days Inn. Got to get out.
How do you have like when you live at a Days Inn? How much do they charge you? Is it like a weekly thing?
I wasn't getting charged for it because it was my aunt's place.
Oh, okay.
So I was basically just like, it's basically like a fucking rehab type of situation where I'm like, I gotta go. Yeah, it really, honestly, dude, it's fucking gnarly. It's just a strange
Basic
place.
cable?
Yeah, basic cable, pretty solid
HBO?
stuff. No, not HBO.
Damn.
No HBO, no porn, no nothing good. But
That is the place where rock bottom is a motel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, an extended stay hotel
Absolutely.
in Glendale where people are definitely killing people.
Yeah.
They're absolutely murdering each other in there.
I had a rock bottom in a motel once. It was terrible.
Makes sense.
Yeah, for sure it does.
What
it was
was
on
your
Christmas.
Oh, Jesus, Pete.
Yeah. I spent the night, I was dating a stripper, and we hadn't even hooked up. And she had...
And you're like, she likes me.
She did like me. I met her in a blackout. I don't remember anything. And I found out I tried to fight a bouncer. I tried to fight the guy whose birthday it was. And then I woke up in the morning. And I woke up next afternoon, and I had a text from this girl. And she's like, do you remember me from last night? And I was like, nope. And she goes, yeah, you were pretty fucked up, but I still want to hang out. Turns out she's a stripper. I drank an entire fifth of vodka to myself Christmas Eve.
What kind of vodka? Taka?
No, it was Absolute.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not too rock bottom.
No, but it was pretty gross.
Yeah.
And then I remember we tried to hook up, couldn't, because obviously I was too drunk. And then I woke up to a text from her in the morning in a Motel 6 downtown Salt Lake at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And she said, she's like, I like you, but your life is too crazy. Please don't text me. I'm bailing my baby daddy out of jail, and then I'm working the Christmas shift, and my life was too crazy.
Oh, my God, Pete. You should have somebody on this podcast that you hire to hug you. Whenever you start saying anything like that, somebody should I'm not going to do it. Somebody should come over and comfort you whenever you're saying shit like this.
I'm doing fine now. I got fucking bananas and posters and shit, balloons.
You got succulents.
I got to keep... What if I just kept... The funniest would be if nobody lived with me and I just had balloons at all times.
Yeah, and you're like, every day is a party because I'm so thankful to be alive. Yeah, it's crazy that you didn't find some kind of Christianity.
I did not. No, and I really don't.
I found comedy so much worse.
So much worse. But I embrace the shittiness of what it used to be, but I just know it can't be, comedy is terrible, but what I was doing was worse. And that being said, I still think people who are like sobriety are the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, and sobriety and life is beautiful, etc.
I think it's terrible.
What were you saying? Oh, you were pushing me into a story about being fucked up. I've been pretty fucked up,
Kelly said your stories would be, she was like, his will probably be more fun. And they don't need to be fun.
Yeah, I imagine hers weren't as fun.
She made them hilarious.
Yeah,
which
somehow.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah, she's like, oh, these guys are cattle prodding me. But I was having a good time. So, all right, okay, here we go, folks. This is a clip. There you go. So then, all right, let me figure this out. This sounds like I'm making it up now. Okay, let me figure out the ending. No, all right, so 4th of July, 2010. Yes, 2010.
So we're in Bakersfield.
We're in Bakersfield.
Okay.
A junior in high school. I'm 4th of July. I have food poisoning. So I'm shitting and I'm fucking puking and I'm doing whatever else during the day. And I'm like, you know what? I feel better. And then I was with my friend Dino, good guy, one of my very good friends. We were with him. He was sick. He got the food poisoning too, so we're fucking shitting and puking in the same deal. Because he actually had lived with my family because he had got into a little bit of the heroin. And so then he went to, like a thing called Camp Owens, which is like, you either go to juvenile hall or you go to Camp Owens and you dig 6-foot holes every day or whatever they did. I don't know what they did over there. But then my parents are like really cool and like would fucking take people in all the time and shit. And that's what's weird about my parents, because I was saying that earlier, is that like my dad is like, my parents are very accepting people. Like my dad's like a legitimate like Republican, but also like my cousin came out of the closet, and like because his family isn't as accepting, the first person he told was my dad.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, yeah, and it's like he's like, I mean, technically he's considered an ally.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, he was telling us this.
He just doesn't want his boys to call him a fan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but he's telling us about it, and I was like, oh, how'd it go? And he was like, oh, it was good. And I was like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, but my cousin, he's like, he put his boyfriend on the phone. When he was talking to him, I was like, and my dad's like, yeah, he sounds like a fucking retard. And like all this shit. And then my mom, like, this is like 10 minutes after my cousin came out of the closet to my dad. And my cousin lives in Washington. So my mom's like, oh, I'm going to send him a pair of gloves and a beanie because it gets cold up there. And my dad's like, yeah, well, you should send him some fucking condoms so he doesn't get AIDS. And it's like he's saying things like that, but it's like, oh, but like you can't get mad at him. He's like
that's just him.
That's just him. But it's like he
Right.
just helped this kid out with like the most fucking meaningful moment of his life, whatever.
Yeah.
But all right, so back to this 4th of July. I'm shitting, I'm puking, I'm doing it all. And so then this girl who I liked at the time, she called me. She's like, "Hey, we're down at this place. It's like this 4th of July celebration at this park." And I was like, "All right, cool. I fucking got it all together. I'm good. I'm gonna go down to the park and it'll be fun." So we go down there and we're all talking and hanging out, and I start feeling the food poisoning coming back on.
Shit.
And so I'm like, "Oh God, this is no good." So then I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go off into these bushes and I'm gonna." Fucking, like when an old dog goes to die, so they like kind of crawl out into the bushes and they're like, "All right, I don't want to be seen by anybody." And so then I'm fucking puking, and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna shit my pants." And so I take my pants off, so I'm doing like the Winnie the Pooh thing, and I'm fucking shitting and I'm puking. I'm laying on my side in these bushes, and I'm like puking and I'm shitting and I'm puking and I'm shitting. And then there's fireworks going off in the air, and it's honestly a whole thing where I'm laying in these bushes and I'm puking and I'm shitting, and there's fireworks going off because it's 4th of July, and then I start I hear this dog, I got dog collar coming up, and then it's like this golden retriever just like comes up to me. I hear like the collar thing, and I'm like, "No, fucking get out of here," and then I hear this little girl, she's going, "Oliver, Oliver." Oliver, and I'm like, "No, fucking let me die. I'm dying. Let me die." And then this lady, this little girl, she's probably 9, and her grandma approached me. I'm shitting. I'm puking.
Are your pants down? Like
I have no pants on.
Oh no!
I'm kind of like, don't look at my fucking dick. And so I'm like, I'm more or less like laying more or less.
Are you drunk too, or are you just?
That's where this comes in. It's because
Okay.
this lady, just the look on her face is like, "Oh God." She looks at me, and I was like, I look at her and I go, it's fine. I'm not drunk. Is what I told her, which I thought would clear up the whole thing. And they just get the dog and like, get out of here. Because in their mind, I'm some drunk teenager who's fucking puking and shitting my pants. They're not like, "Oh, let's help this fucking sick young man out."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, get away from us."
Yeah. That poor dog.
Yeah. I'm glad he didn't
Eat the puke.
Yeah, I was like, get to licking.
I just.
I'm glad he didn't.
At
do
least
that.
he tried to cheer you up.
Yeah, he was like, he was into it. It was a good dog. But
Jesus.
yeah, the lady was.
When did the pants get gone?
I took him off because I was shitting.
Okay, so you
I
just.
knew I was gonna shit, so I was like, I just got to get rid of
God,
this.
that's fucking terrible. I don't know if I've ever had to shit that bad where I was like, I'm gonna take.
Well, I had food poisoning.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, it was one of those things. Is once I started puking, it all was downhill from there. I had no control.
Yeah. God, dude.
Yeah,
Did you just kind of like do that? Did you walk home or drive?
I drove.
Oh, okay. So you had to shit and then sit in your shit afterwards.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
I went back to my friend down. I was like, oh, you gotta get out of here.
How old were you? 2010?
17.
Oh my God. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, like 17.
Yeah.
It's funny that you have the demeanor of a 35-year-old.
Yeah.
Because you've lived the life of a 35-year-old road dog comedian.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like
sure.
you were like 21 and living in a Days Inn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I moved out here when I was, I think I was 22.
Yeah.
Because I went through a really bad breakup with a lady.
Okay.
Not a guy.
Right.
And so yeah, I was dating this girl. Really cool. This girl I knew from like middle school and high school. Very cool. She's very cool. I don't really talk to her, but I like her. I don't like her like that, But
Right.
she's nice. I hope she's doing well. I hope she's not listening to this podcast. That'd mean things are going pretty bad for her if she's listening to your podcast. What's funny is she like 2 years ago, actually, I told this story on my podcast, and then I hadn't talked to her in like a year, and she's like, "Hey, I listened to your podcast," and I was like, "Oh,
I had
shit."
a girl do that.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh shit," and she's like, "Yeah," she's like, "I didn't know it was. I don't remember it being that bad." She's like, "I'm sorry." Not like I was lying. She's just the story will progress. She's a great girl. She had some kind of childhood trauma, not who doesn't, that's what I was going to say.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
Some are worse than others. And so then we're dating, things are going good, and then she if I'm correct, what happened is she was on like an SSRI. You familiar? Mm-hmm. Serotonin receptive inhibitor, where it's like, what is that more or less an antidepressant?
Yeah, it's Lexapro.
Yeah, Lexapro, something like that. And so apparently, what can happen to some folks is that things like that can interact with your birth control and make you all fucking sorts of loopy.
Oh shit!
And so she was like fucking losing her mind, and I'm like a 21-year-old dude, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to fucking deal with this shit. And so she's like losing her mind, going fucking cuckoo bananas. And then so everybody's like, oh, well, you got to go to like the fucking nut house,
Yeah.
Mental institution. So we're like, yeah, we'll figure it out. And she's like, I'm not going to that shit. And I was like, you got to fucking go. And so I finally talked to her. And her grandparents were very, very rich Jehovah's Witnesses. So this will come into play. And so we're all like, all right, fine. We're going to do it.
So they were rich and didn't spend their money on anything.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, well, fuck. I mean, they like took care of her mom, and her whole fucking thing it's all complicated. And so going to the mental institution, we're like, all right, cool. Like, finally, we're going to do it. Her grandparents are behind me in an Escalade. And I'm in my truck. We're driving to the thing. I'm finally agreed to it. Everyone's stoked with me because I talked her into it, So then we pull up to the thing, and we get out of the car, and she just immediately sprints away from the thing.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm like, all right, I'll fucking chase this lady, And so I'm chasing her down, and we go through kind of like it's a bunch of like oil tool yards.
Okay.
A bunch of like oil companies where they have all the tools out, and there's big buff guys working in there. So I'm chasing this girl through an oil field yard. So all these big ass dudes, all they see me doing is chasing this girl. And so then I like reach out and I grab the back of her shirt and like stop. I'm like, stop, just fucking stop. And so all these guys see is me chasing this girl, reaching out, grabbing her shirt, stopping her, and then the guys all look at me and her, and she sees those guys look at me, and she's like, "There's a good opportunity."
Oh fuck!
And then she goes, "This guy's trying to fucking rape me." So then these guys, they all got fucking pipes, fucking wrenches and shit. And so these guys are starting to run over to me. They're going to fucking hit me over the head with a pipe or some shit. And then this is perfect timing where her grandparents pull up behind. And like her grandpa looks like Joe Biden. So he jumps out and he's like, dude, everybody.
That's what I pictured. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
He like jumps out and he's like, everybody fucking calm down, and kind of explained what was going on. And then the guy's like, oh, okay. But it's like one of those things where like those guys are about to hit me with a pipe, and I basically turn into like Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey guys, hey fellas,
dude, that's fucking. I would hate somebody after they did that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it didn't last much longer.
Yeah, okay.
But it's also, which was a weird thing in life, because I'm like doing all that, and then I'm trying to do comedy, and like I literally went from doing all of that, checking this girl into the mental hospital, and then driving to the Irvine Improv straight from there to host a show. Oh. So it's just like my fucking mind is like warped, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then I was kind of just like, I gotta separate myself from this situation.
Yeah.
When this girl is in the mental institution, and I'm like, who, I like love this girl at the time.
Sure.
And stuff. And so she's like calling me, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this. So I'm like in this weird place where I'm just like, I gotta separate myself completely from the situation and whatever else.
God, that's fucking crazy. And you were 20, 21, 22?
21.
Why is it it's always the craziest ones when you're the youngest? That's the craziest part. I had a girl who told me she was pregnant when I was 17. She was like, I'm pregnant and it's yours. And I was like pacing around, the hallways of my high school, calling my mom, crying. And then I think back on it and I'm like, I don't know adult women who would do that. Like,
yeah, definitely. It's probably good, though.
Yeah.
It's probably good to go through things.
Like I don't know anything as an adult that would be that, like, unless it's like fucking Amber Heard doing that to Johnny Depp, that kind of thing where it's like, you're beating me up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I went through all that same shit with that same chick.
No shit.
Yeah. She would, like, punch me and then be like, I'm a fucking tell everybody. So I was like, all right, what the fuck? And I'm like a kid, so I'm like, I don't want.
I was probably about that age too, and the girl was beating me up. You gotta go?
No.
Okay, cool.
I just want to see. I'm supposed to get a thing for spots.
We got like 5 minutes.
No, I'm good. I can do.
Oh, you got spots?
Maybe.
Where?
Well, the Comedy Store, you call in your avails on Monday, and then
Are you in development there too?
Yeah, so if you
cool.
work there, you get development spots.
Oh, just did you? Oh, so all the door guys are in development.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I didn't know if that was the case, but that's awesome. Yeah, it's funny you and Kelly come off this because she's like your same age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem like you're 35-year-old vets, like just who are like, we've been doing the road for years.
Yeah.
Like,
well, both of us started she started younger than me, but it's like
That's
I've always,
crazy.
whenever I started, from whenever I started, I've always been like the youngest person in my group of people.
most people who started young are just intolerable. Like,
Yeah.
And so, like, it's funny that you started young and then you actually went into it that way rather than like, I know what you're thinking. I'm the fucking, you know what I mean?
I was terrible when I first started.
I'm sure,
I was
but
terrible for the first 3 years.
everybody is. But it's, it's interesting that you had a colorful life.
Yeah.
And it seems like you've been through a lot
Whenever
of shit.
I first started, everybody, because in Bakersfield, there was no comedy really. Like I knew like one other comedian, this guy Joe Allen, he's very funny, but he would do it. There was like one monthly show there, and there was like 4 or 5 comics who would do it like 4 times a year.
Where's Ontario? Is
That's south.
okay? And then what's the one that's up there?
Bakersfield, Fresno, Visalia, Tulare.
Okay, cool. So there's
Like if you driven to San Francisco,
yeah.
all the brown.
Okay.
That's Central California. Not the people, the land,
Right.
and the people.
And people, yeah.
And the meth.
And there's sunburn. It's like a jerky color. I don't know if it's brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody looks Native American. My dad looks Native American.
Does he really?
Yeah. Well, he's just worked in the oil business his entire life, so
That's
he's
badass.
been outside most times. So same thing with that too, where like whenever, like I grew up pretty. I was poor till I was like 13, and then we were like middle class,
Okay.
and then whenever I moved down here was whenever oil completely crashed. So then we were like poor, and so I had like no help, whatever. So I was just like,
The old days
I
in.
needed you, dude. You wasn't right there. You know that song?
Yeah.
I wrote that song.
Oh shit.
Okay. Obviously, I'm kidding. No, but
So
whenever
you're the rapper.
yeah, whenever I'm the baby. Whenever I started, I would go to karaoke nights and be like, hey, can I tell jokes instead of sing a song? And they'd be like, fine, whatever, do whatever. And so I'd go up there and I'd bomb, and I'd be like, I'm living it. And so then I started, like...
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was awful.
That's an amazing thing. You were 17?
No, I
Or
was
19?
I was 19.
That's amazing fortitude as a 19-year-old.
Yeah. Whenever I started, I would stand, because then there was a music open mic once a week. And so
Okay.
I was like, I'd go there and do comedy. And they're like, yeah, you wait outside with the security guard until it's your turn to come inside and do your thing.
So they
it's like,
treated you like garbage.
absolutely. I'm a 19-year-old kid. It's a 21 and over establishment. This guy, Chris Carton, great guy, broke the law a million times to help me out. Really
Okay.
good dude, would host it, great musician. And so he would do that. I'd wait outside with a security guard named Angel in the rain sometimes, me and him in the rain, just standing there. And he could probably go inside, but he was a nice guy, so
Yeah.
he'd stand outside with me in the rain while I'm waiting to go inside and bomb. So yeah, I would do that, go to that, like a music open mic. I'd go to trivia nights and be like, hey, whenever you're on a break, can I go tell jokes on stage? And the guy would be like, whatever. Fine. Nobody was ever
Dude,
like,
that's amazing.
that's what I'm saying. It is, but nobody in the moment would be like, dude, it's so cool you're doing this. It'll be
No,
like,
for sure.
fine, whatever.
I think now I would be like, that's like, but if I didn't do comedy, I'd be like, who the fuck?
Yeah. So
But the funny part is you hear adult males being like, I have to wait at the improv for an hour.
Yeah.
You
Make
know
it
what I mean?
happen.
Yeah, that's fucking, that's
it's like, so
fucking cool.
The
dude.
first 1,000 times I did comedy, not 1,000, but the first year I did comedy, I would have to go on stage and get everyone's attention and ease them into what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
for 5 minutes, and then be like, my mom is weird.
What's the worst you ever got in terms of a bomb in that situation?
This is a good story. You'll like this. In terms of that situation, it always was just pretty brutal. It never went great. But there was another time where this place called the Syndicate Lounge in Bakersfield. Before I get into this story, so it's like all that shit, and then I started open mics and fucking shows in Bakersfield, and then started basically the scene there. So then these older guys all hated me because I was doing all this shit, and like we would have a monthly show with like 150 people and open mics. When I started, there was 5 comedians. Now there's like 60. They worship me.
That's amazing.
So then this place called the Syndicate Lounge. It's a music open mic, mostly hip hop. It's a fucking rough bar. People get stabbed there every 45 minutes.
You done dive bar in Vegas?
No.
So it's like
I've done I've done the gnarly places where people with fucking face tattoos all across the bar, like, you're fucking funny, dog. Like, dude, because doing comedy in Bakersfield, like, I would do it at these fucking rough places. Like, I was telling somebody the story the other day. I was at a bar. I was at the bar, did a show, whatever. This is from Syndicate Lounge, the same place I'm going to tell the story. And then I am at a gas station in, like, a rough part of town, like a fucking rough, like, legitimate hood. There's 2 gas pumps over, these dudes, these like black dudes are looking at me, and they're like looking at me, and I'm like, oh fuck, whatever. Like, let me just get out my shit so I can just give it to these guys before they ask. And and like a beat up car, they're just looking at me like I'm in a terrible neighborhood. And these dudes, they get in the car and they pull around and they park in front of my truck, like next to it. And one rolls down the window and he looks at me and goes, "Hey," and I was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "You that comedian?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're fucking funny, dog." And I was like,
"Oh, that's cool."
And I was like, but it's like in my head, I'm like, "Oh."
Was it Chappelle Lacey who said that?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Hey, man, you're pretty funny, bro." All right, so I'm at the Syndicate Lounge. I'm on stage, and it's going great, you know.
Yeah.
And so this girl comes into the bar. Looks like it's like emo-ish chick, you know. And she had a hospital bracelet on, so I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And the bartender, right when she walks in, this guy, I can't remember his real name, but his nickname is Stabby, the bartender. Nicest guy in the world.
You're being serious.
I'm 100% serious. Stabby. Big, buff Mexican dude. Like, definitely doesn't take no shit. And I imagine he stabbed people.
Sure.
So this chick comes in, and she's like, hey, and the guy, Stabby goes, hey, like, you know you're not supposed to be in here. She's like, fine, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. And then she goes outside, and then she comes back in, does it one more time. She's like, yeah, come on, like, let's not do this. And I'm on stage. I'm on stage for like 10 minutes, and I just hear this like banging noise, like bang, 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 bang. And there's like there's a stage, and then there's an emergency exit. And I look off stage, and there's this girl, the same girl, and she's staring at me, but she's smashing her head against the emergency exit. It's a glass door. She's smashing her head into the glass over and over. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, hey, Stabby, can you do something? And he goes and he opens the door. He's like, hey, come on, like, we're doing a show. You can't do that here right now. Like,
yeah.
Like, he wasn't even like, don't do that. He's like,
the fact that you have to have Stabby reason with somebody.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, Stabby, can you help me out? This girl, she's fucking doing this thing. And I was like, all right, fine. And then I'm like about to finish up, and like a group of people had come into the bar, so Stabby's helping them out. And then this girl comes back into the bar. This is where the story gets good. This girl comes back into the bar. I swear to God. She pulls out a box cutter, and she starts cutting herself on the arm. She's like fucking ripping into herself, and I'm just like, you're not supposed to be here. You know that. And so I grab the stool, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lion tame this lady. Yeah. If anything, I was in my head. I was like, it's decided. I'm gonna kill this person with this stool.
What the fuck? Like deep cuts.
She was getting it.
Oh my God.
She was really getting it. And so I'm doing it, and like, I'm fucking, like, I'm gonna fucking kill this person with the stool. Like, it's decided. And so then I'm like, hey, I like call out Stabby. I was like, hey, this fucking bitch is cutting herself with the box cutter right here. And so then I had gotten off the stage, and she's like looking at me all crazy, and like Stabby's in between us, and I have the stool. Initially I had it like this, like to poke. Yeah. And then I had flipped it around, and I'm like, this is how I have it. Like, yeah. I'm gonna fucking do this shit really quick. And then he got her out, and nothing really happened at the end. Fuck. But she really went down.
There's blood everywhere, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was a gnarly scene.
Holy fuck.
Open mic continued.
Dude, that's the coolest, like, all right, fuck. If anybody bombed, you didn't bomb. Bruce bombed so hard. Yeah. Somebody was like, "You're terrible."
Yeah.
Ah!
That's what's funny is that it wasn't.
You were bad.
It wasn't going awful, but this chick was just. But in your mind, if you're like, "Yeah, I was doing comedy," this person tried to kill himself in the audience. They're like, "Oh, you must have been having a terrible time," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
That's amazing, dude. It's like, it's really. What's the word? Fucking, I'm retarded. I don't know, dude. Like that's amazing to hear that you went and made a lane. You don't hear about that often. That's inspiring. That makes me want to do better.
Yeah,
that's not usually. That's people why I did 2 open mics a day for years. And I'm like, all right, well,
that's why I don't care about anybody who complains about comedy stuff or like whatever, expects to be treated with any type of fairness.
For sure.
Like, it doesn't, you don't matter. None of you matter. Like, I think in the long scheme, like, sure, you're funny, but it's like, do something about it.
That's the hardest part about going to those big mics is you get caught up in like, am I going to get booked? But it's like, it kind of makes me forget about the thing, which is just like, I just want to be funny. That's all I give a fuck about. And I think that separates you from a lot of people. Because I don't think a lot of people just want to be funny, especially here. I think you get a lot of people who want to be famous.
Yeah. And it's like with that shit, too, it's like I don't give a shit about anybody complaining because when I started going to all of these places, nobody had any idea who I was.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who anybody was. And so it's like the only way to fucking do literally the only way I get booked. I mean, I'm going to Tahoe tomorrow to do the Tahoe Improv. And
cool.
The only way I'm doing things like that is from going to the open mic for 4 years and not getting picked 90% of the time and all that shit. Any of the... Oh, that's you. Any of this fucking... I don't care about any of this complaining bullshit because it's like all of it, I just fucking went out and did it.
Yeah.
And consistently did it. I went to the Comedy Store. Everybody treated me awful because they're like, who is this guy? We don't care. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'll just keep coming back and fucking doing it. So these people post these fucking Facebook things about how a door guy at the Comedy Store was rude to him. And it's because there's fucking 250 retarded people there. There's 250 comedians sign up every Monday at the Comedy Store. And 90% of them should be in a mental asylum.
90% of them should be in a mental asylum and are nowhere else other than... Like, you would never see them anywhere else in the city ever, and then they just apparate at the store on Mondays.
Yeah, and it's...
And then they talk about how hard they grind. That's the funniest part.
That's what I'm saying. None of it matters. It's like, fucking do it or shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
There's none of it. I don't care about any of this complaining, bitter bullshit. And it's just get better, be better, fucking prove that you're better, and people will fucking treat you better.
I think that's a great way to look at it.
Fucking bitch. No, it's all that shit, dude. Anything that I've gotten doing comedy is because I fucking went out and did it, and I didn't fucking sit around and be like, why is this not happening to me?
Yeah.
I did. I would fucking cry by myself and fucking...
But you were a child, too.
Yeah.
So, like, when I hear grown people do that, that's why I'm like, you were like 20 years old.
Yeah.
So you had a reason.
All of that. Dude, I came down here to the fucking Improv whenever I was like 20 or 21. I went to the Improv open mic whenever it was in the main room. This is whenever they would do it potluck style, and they'd pick a bunch of names and they'd put it on the list. I went up there. I fucking bombed. I got played off. The host made fun of me. Everyone laughed at me. I went to my car. I fucking cried, and I was like,
Was it Baldinger?
Huh?
Was it Baldinger?
No, I don't remember who it was. No, fucking Irish prick. So then, no, he's not even Irish. He's a Jew.
I was gonna say
he just looks
a
Irish.
Very nice Jewish boy.
Yeah, no, he's great. I love him.
But him making fun of you. I've never gotten made fun of by Baldinger, but if I were new and Baldinger made fun of me, I would be like,
he's very cutting.
My career is over.
Yeah, I make fun of people, but I smile when I do it.
Yeah,
he just
goes,
yeah,
and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, him and Ken Gar is the best open mic host overall. Like anybody,
those two are great.
Yeah, that's what people. I think
you and Voki are great too, though.
Yeah, but it's honestly because of I'm good at hosting open mics because I've watched Ken Gar host a million open mics and seen how he makes fun of. He is. Because whenever I moved here, he was like the fucking open mic host.
So he was you?
Basically, yeah, LA's supreme open mic host. Yeah, which I always say.
But that's a great thing.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, because whenever I moved here, he would host the Ice House and he would host the Improv. and whatever, like host a
I
bunch
need
of
to
shit.
go do the Ice House more.
Ice House is popping, dude.
It's great. It's a great open mic.
All this shit, I've literally, like, just none of the complaining bullshit matters. Like, I don't know. I've been treated terribly, and the only thing you can do is get better.
I think that's what makes you funny, is because you've been stepped on a lot.
Yeah.
And then you've done a bunch of shit, and you had to make your own lane. That's very inspiring. I'm very impressed by that.
What is that? Your ice maker?
Ice maker.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Pete has an ice maker.
I have an ice maker.
It's everybody.
Does that matter?
That you have an ice maker?
Yeah.
No, you can treat me differently because I have an ice maker. No, it's just I just don't care about anybody that complains about I complain quite a bit, but I
think I
know that there's no meaning in doing it. It just feels good to do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of other people do it because they're like, oh, I get treated bad.
Knowing when and where to do it, I think, is key. And like that, the intent behind it is not to be like, I'm going to complain because I'm not getting my way. It's to complain because people need to vent their frustration.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And a lot of people go, I should be here. And it's like, no, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you're not there, it's very rare there's somebody who is not. I think Kevin Tinkin is the only person I can think of who's like, and he's a father of two. Because that's why I think he should be further than he is.
Yeah, and he's an incredible comedian. Same thing with because we do an improv show together, and he's like one of the most talented improvisers.
So
he's just one of the most overall talented people that I know.
I did Set of the Night, and Dylan was hosting, and I was like second choice next to him.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, fuck, that's huge.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, of course, and other people are gonna be like, oh, you fucking should have been me, but it's like it should have been the guy who fucking came up here and
he
murdered, and the guy who gave up a fucking $120,000 a year job and a fucking beautiful home on 2 acres in Fresno and a fucking beautiful life to move his family here to try to fucking make something of himself. You pieces of shit.
Yep.
Do something with your fucking life. I just don't care, dude. I just don't. People complain about this or that or not getting up on fucking potluck or whatever, and it's like, dude, I would get up before I worked at the store maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
And so literally same thing where it's like, how can I go around this? And it's like, oh, how I can go around this by going to the Set of the Night open mic, where if you win, you get a set on potluck, and just going there and being like, I have to do everything I can to win. I won that like 5 times. And so I was like, I need a fucking backdoor into this, and that's the only way I work there. I mean, I'm also friends with everyone who works there from being around, but it's like the only way I got up in front of anybody, like the booker or whoever, is by going to that mic and doing everything I possibly could to win.
Yeah.
Whether it's just being funny, but also fucking just being a complete psycho.
Well, I'm friends with a bunch of the door guys too, and like I would never use that. Like at first I was like, maybe I should, I've had people be like, oh, ask them to put you up, and I just would never do that.
Yeah,
I don't.
Well,
think
it's because you're not a fucking idiot, and I'm the same way. Where before I worked there, I never wanted to be lumped in with people who were fucking annoying.
Yeah,
and the fucking idiots.
Well, it's the same as
world.
like asking to be on a friend's show.
Yeah.
Matt was like, tell me, he was like, oh, have you been on Potluck before? And I said, no. And he's like, maybe I can try to get you up. And he's just like, hit me up tomorrow. And we did a podcast on Sunday, and I hit him up, and he's like, oh, I'll try. And then that's the last time I talked to him about it. And then Dylan got me on Friends and Family once.
Yeah.
But other than that, and I didn't ask him, he just did it. And, that's the furthest I would ever go, because I just don't want to be I don't want to act like I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. It's just fucking, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
That's the way that I'm trying to look at it.
Yes.
It's just like, and when I got up on Friends and Family, I was not ready to do Friends and Family.
But you realize that.
Yeah.
And you're not somebody who's like, you fucking go out and eat your fucking dick and ass.
I'm
and you're
so
like,
glad that Adam wasn't there.
Yeah. There's so much shit like that. And it's like, it's just, people think they deserve stuff and they don't. And
it's very annoying. It's very annoying. And like everybody gets caught up in it, I think. But I think it's just the nature of the beast of being around that all the time.
Yeah.
Is everybody, you see people getting booked. For me, it's like if I see my friends getting booked, or like these people who like are in spots where it's like, wow, he's getting that. I just go, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Like that's like I try to just be like, that's amazing. Like this fucking
Yeah,
has nothing to do
being
with me.
happy for people that are actually getting shit and not being pretend happy, whatever else.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm happy that I'm fortunate enough to not really have to go to that many open mics anymore. Like if I do go to an open mic, it'll be at a club, or like if somebody I know is hosting that I know will throw me up, because it's such a fucking poisonous environment.
Yeah.
Everybody is so fucking poisonous.
I've been lucky enough to I get put up at open mics more.
Yeah.
And it's been, and so that means I go, okay, that must mean I'm doing something right. Either that people like me or that I'm being funny.
Yeah, and there's stuff like that too, where it's like when you first move here and you'll be like, oh, I can't fucking believe that these guys are just putting up their friend, or that they're just fucking rigging whatever, and then it happens for you and you're like, oh, everything should be like this. Nothing should be this open.
Yeah, well, it's that, and then it's also like when people are like, they just put up their friends, it's like, maybe be more likable.
Maybe be funny.
Maybe be a nice guy and make them not embarrassed when they put you up.
Yeah. That's what whenever I put people up at Ice House, it's because I need to. Because I know that these next two people, who I have no idea who they are going to bomb so bad that if I don't put up somebody funny, it means that everything is tanked.
I can't imagine 3 hours of just watching people go, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I look like blah, 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 blah.
And it fucking kills everything, especially when there's real people in the audience.
Yeah.
And it's like if you put up
Dude, when
three
people
in a row-
heckle real people from the stage, they're like, you're a real person. Why are you here? It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. They're going to stay.
Yeah.
Dude, the improv on Sunday was amazing because there was a table or two of real people and they laughed at everything.
Yeah.
And they were like, nobody fucked with them. And it was the best open mic I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for somebody to ruin it. I was waiting for somebody to be like, so you want to see my dick? You know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking, or like that. There was that chick who came up and called black people monkeys and ruined the mic for everybody.
Yeah, Kelly Ryan. Yeah, we all know her.
Yeah, and then her sister came up and rapped about it.
Yeah, she said the N-word.
Yeah, she raps the N-word. Did you know that?
Yeah,
really
that's all she
weird.
raps.
And then Kelly, I heard Kelly made a post about Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, she's Kelly Shafir.
Kelly,
Yeah, people are mad at her.
she married Ari now?
No, she is him.
So she left you for...
She's him. She's just Ari Shafir.
So you are gay?
Yes. No,
Oh,
well,
man.
I mean, if anybody in the industry is listening to this, I'm fucking gay and I want to work, but between me and you.
Wow,
Love
dude.
the beef.
Yeah. The road beef.
Yeah.
Only road beef.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got to be roadkill beef.
Strange. Yeah.
All right, well, shit. Plug whatever you want. I got a decent following of people.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get about, in a week, I'll get about 200 or 300 downloads per episode.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cut that out, dude. You want people to think you're getting more.
Yeah.
Guys, listen to the Friends Forever podcast. Out every Monday, except for this Monday because the computer fucked up, so I got to go home and put it out now. Me and Zach Stein. Yeah, I don't know. Just, hit me up. Follow me on Instagram, Bruce Gray. I post about all of my shows there. I thought I had a big list of them on my phone. But
You have such a porn star name, dude.
Bruce
It's
Gray?
fucking slick.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
My middle name is Roy Eugene with a hyphen in the middle.
Holy shit.
Pretty solid.
I got two middle names, too, but I just sound like a pussy when I say them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Where are you going to be next on the road?
Well, I'm going. This won't be out until after I'm done. I'm going to Tahoe tomorrow, and then March. I mean, Palm Springs, Morro Bay, a few other places. April, Boston, New York, Connecticut, Philadelphia, Texas in the fall. Fresno, a bunch of random shit too just comes up. I might be on the road with other people, but it's always like a week before I find out.
Well, that's great, dude. I appreciate you being here. It was a great.
No, I had a good time.
Great stories.
Thanks, dude.
Seriously,
Yeah,
I'm very inspired by the way that you
fucking
go
go out and get it, dog.
Go out and get it.
Get it.
Go fuck road beef.
Yeah, dude.
Don't say the N word unless your name's Kelly Ryan.
Unless you mean it.
Unless you mean.
Yeah, none of this joking around stuff.
Stop being a bitch. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Please go follow Bruce Gray on Instagram. Do you have Twitter?
Yeah, Bruce Gray Live.
Bruce Gray. Wow.
Instagram where it's really popping, though.
Yeah, Instagram. He's got nudes. He's got road beef pictures. Got it all. I think he has a premium Snapchat.
Yeah, and on Instagram, too, don't unfollow me when I don't follow you back.
He barely followed me.
I have the Instagram unfollow app, and it's very hurtful to see.
Do you really?
Yeah, don't get it. It'll hurt your feelings. People you think like you will unfollow you.
Why'd you get that?
I love pain.
Oh man,
I love it. I'm a masochist. Is that what that? All right, guys, it's been good, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Blackout Podcast with Pete Suval. Released every what day of the week?
Usually Wednesday.
Usually Wednesday. iTunes,
everywhere
YouTube,
podcasts are available.
Spotify.
YouTube, Spotify, YouPorn, YouJizz, X videos.
Sponsored by Jay's Tattoo Removal.
If you made a mistake, then we'll fix it up in a shake. I don't know. Okay.
That's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, right. All right, thanks.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, dude.